Hey, what's up everybody, this is White aka Antivator here, bringing you yet another toy review, and today we're looking at the Transformers animated Voyager class Blackout. Now you might be wondering, why am I reviewing an animated figure? These figures are almost 4 years old, and maybe even older. Not this one exactly, but some of them. And I just kind of looked at this figure on my shelf, and I thought to myself, I dig this figure. I want to talk about this figure. I'll talk about this figure. Because I'm kind of burnt out on talking about Transformers Prime. Nothing to its detriment. It's just, I talk about it almost every single day in a video, and I'm just kind of burnt out on Prime. So I'm just going to take a look at this guy, maybe look at a couple older figures, like classics or so, just because it's what I want to do. So, I hope you guys enjoy it, and here's a look at Blackout. Now, Blackout's helicopter mode is really nice. I'm not going to try and pretend I know what kind of helicopter this is pretending to be. The animated aesthetic was a pretty botchy and chibi version of, you know, Transformers. And not that it's bad or anything, it's just how they ran with it, and they didn't really base it off anything. Or anything, you know, too realistic. But his helicopter mode is something very, very nice. I really enjoy it. Just the proportion on it is something of the animated aesthetic that I really enjoyed. So the bulbous front and kind of the sleeker it gets, the farther down it goes down the helicopter, I really liked. And it really is unfortunate that probably you know by now that this figure was only available by Takara Tomy. So, it's whatever. And I hit my camera. He doesn't have a little propeller spinning gimmick, but you can just spin it with your finger, like it is, and it spins really well. It doesn't click or just, you know, rattle around. It spins really well. And some people complain that his vehicle mode doesn't have landing gear, but I don't really mind. I think it looks fine. I think all the nubs and stuff kind of, you know, work. If I don't break it first. His tail rotor is kind of odd, but you'll see what this is used for later. But it's still really neat. Now, one thing I don't really get is for the transformation, his arms fold up like this. But he has some window detailing, which is really nice, but it's blocked off by the guns. And the guns, you know, it's kibble, but it doesn't look bad. It looks like just a heavily armed helicopter, which is nice. So I really do enjoy this. You can position his cannons, even though they'll get cut off by his propellers. And the propellers are pretty far up, so it still looks nice. And the paint apps are really clean, really crisp. The whites and the purples and the silvers and the golds and what have yous, they look really nice. So his helicopter mode is really nice. I really enjoy it. Transformation is somewhat on the incredibly simple side. Take this back piece here and just kind of rip it off. You might want to do that. Just kind of work with the, it's pretty clipped in a different way, so just kind of wiggle it out from the top and move each side and just pop it out. Come to the sides, take these things, rotate them around the guns, rotate these down, come up here, take his arms, pull them out, and push everything to the back into where it clips into the side. So now you have his whole chest and his face revealed. Come inside of his arms, fold out his hands and his fingers, as well as his thumb, and just position it as so. And now there's a little bit of automorph that comes into this. Take this back piece, flip it down, rotate the legs down, they'll unclip from each other. Now take this whole thing, and then we'll show it from the back here. That once you clip this all in, the back portion, or the propellers, sling backwards and land on the back. So, kind of like that. So pose the propellers, or flip them down, kind of like he does in the movie. How he has them like that. And then you can fold these down, and so everything kind of sits more flush on his back. But I prefer the look where he's kind of just bulky, and he has them just kind of armed up. They don't really add much, but they keep the propellers pointed up so it doesn't always spin all over the place, and it looks nice. So clip that in, rotate his heels out from the feet, push his arms forward a little bit. There you have Blackout in his robot mode. Blackout is an insanely neat robot. He just looks beefy, he looks badass, and I really like it. And I know this figure kind of has some qualms, and we'll get into that with his movement and kind of his build, but I just think he looks really nice. He looks awesome on an animated Decepticon shelf. I really enjoy this toy. With this little thing that you pulled off from his butt in helicopter mode, you want to fold it in his hand, rotate the gun back, and you can clip it onto his arm. Like that. Now, the bad thing is, we'll get into this with articulation, but his arm doesn't go upwards on an elbow. It goes inside, so you have to rotate the whole arm up. He's like, you know, just... And then if you pull this, it shoots a disc. So you pull the disc, So, doesn't like Adventure Time, or the Avengers. Magic. So, that's pretty, you know, okay weapon, you know, whatever. I don't really care for it, but, it's a toy, so he's gonna come with something kind of odd. His whole, articulation, he has no head articulation. His little head crest moves for some unknown reason, but he doesn't have really any articulation. His arms rotate but get hindered, which is fine. They go in and out on a couple hinges, so this whole hinge piece on the transformation works. Goes in and out a tiny bit, rotates at the upper bicep, bends inside, so you can have his arm like this, you know, and kind of like that, which is fine, but no elbow. I would have liked, I think the best thing about this figure that it doesn't have, which it could have, is an elbow that, you know, works this way. You can move these things if you want. His fingers move and go inside. No waist articulation. Oh, no. I never knew he had a waist. So he has a waist. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know he had a waist. So I just figured he didn't because I transformed. But look at that. He has a waist. And it clicks weird, but he's got a waist. That's cool. So you learn something new every day, kids. Let's go forward and back, in and out, bend at the knee pretty far, and the heel and the toe move. So you would be able to get some pretty neat poses out of him, but pretty, for lack of a better term, kids cover your ears, he is pretty much just built to look like a brick shithouse who's gonna mess up your day. Sculpting on this guy is really, really neat. I'm not gonna lie. I like it a lot. So his head is really kind of, he has the one eye kind of wide, like, I'm gonna kill you, I promise. He kind of looks like a crab, though. I don't know why, he looks like a crab, his head's sunken in, but I still like it. Looks like a biker in the Transformers universe. See the sculpting all the way down his chest with the Decepticon logo, looks really nice. His legs kind of remind me of Grimlock, but that's just me. He doesn't have too much sculpting, but a decent amount of detail. And the paint really kind of makes it look nice, so, all the way down. So he looks really neat, and I do like him a lot. If you can find him for a pretty good price, I found him for, I found him for only about, $45 shipped. He's a neat figure. He's definitely a figure that if you don't know how you feel about it, you probably shouldn't get it. If you think you like it, which I did, probably buy it. He's kind of hard to come by now. I'd probably have to get it secondhand. I got mine mint in box, but it had been opened. So this is a really neat figure if you're a collector and you're into the animated line, and this aesthetic. Totes get this. This is really neat. I really enjoy it. But hey, I could be alone. I could be a 1%. Who knows? So, yeah, if you have any questions about the figure, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'll get to them as soon as possible. Please like or dislike, depending on if you did or not. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got more reviews coming out like this. Check out Primecast every weekend on SSJ Autobots YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later.